Probably not all of them are listed yet, but yeah. But yeah, so let me see if I took them out, and they are different sizes as well. Great, I think I'll stick to this one. Should have come out here. So we offer gift options as well. Let's see what we have here. Drawstring, pouches, and a lot of scrunchies. And those are lined. Great to put makeups, products, cosmetic products, or for traveling. On the can go in it as well. And we do use the same print fabric for our scrunchies as well. So we have them at, probably the scrunchies are at, and we hand sew. Let me show you. We have wide elastics that we put in them, and I pretty much hand sew the ends. So some of them are now done. Trying to see if I can see one that is hand. So this one is not sewn yet. So pretty much I will hand sew the end here, and it pretty much makes the elastic still moving in it, because I will sew the end of those two pieces without touching the elastic and without touching the end of the this. So it won't be that invisible, but it'll be small hand sewing at the end of it. And we have different print designs, and we have handbands, and they will be at liberlabel.com. Now at Nina's soap will have the towels and the soaps. And in case you have not noticed, we have the soap drying there as well. I think some on top and some at the bottom. But the scrunchies and the handbands will be at liberlabel.com. We have kid size and adult size as well. This bin has, since that most of them are not done, like the scrunchies are not completely done. So we have our pouches. So this one, they are done, and you'll be able to see the sewing to close the opening there. You can barely see it, but you'll notice is just on one side. I didn't sew it with the machine, so the elastic will be able to move inside as well. So I like that type of ending for it. But yeah, then we have our pouches, zipper pouch. They should be available at liberlabel.com, but again, I'm not sure all of them are listed, so they are not listed yet. So the handbands, we have them as well. Usually this bin will have things that I'm not done, either done putting on our inventory and sales spreadsheets, or I'm not done sewing. But other than that, they usually have the fabrics that I cut, and that's the fabric for the scrunchies. So our scrunchies are long, like 42, 44 inches long, the length of the fabric from sievage to sievage, if that's the way it's called, and quite wide as well. I think the ending product is about 6 inches or 5 inches when it's done. So this one is about 7 here, so when it's done it'll be about 6 or 5.5 inches, you know, the one that I'm done with. But yeah, we started with long, and we put wide elastic 14 inches long elastic, 1 inch wide in it. So we cut about 14.5 inches of elastic. To put in it. So pretty much it can give you about the size of the elastic inside. But yeah. So Saturdays I like to wake up early to, if I'm going to make pizza for lunch, I will mix the dough quickly in the morning, like spread the dough in the pan, put in the oven for the second rise, and I'll come down and sew before the kids wake up. But the kids wake up, but today I didn't wake up early, so they are awake already, so I won't be able to stay here for long. And again, that's something I can do around the kids if I want to, like sitting in the couch while they are playing around with my needle and thread, and I will just close those that I have not done, or the one that I've done, I'll take picture in the living room around them. I can do those things around them, but sewing is like therapeutic for me, so I like to do that in the morning when they are sleeping. But other than that, sometimes they'll come here and like to get into things. So, and Sundays I like to make print-on-demand products. I like to draw for print-on-demand products. Our print-on-demand product will be at liberdownload.com as well. So we have some the t-shirt and the mug, I like to source it to a print-on-demand company, you know, to produce it, but we make the design ourselves. But I like to do the stationery at home. So we have some handmade cards. Let's see. And one of the kids did this, and we lace it as well. So she draw herself, and we made stickers out of it. So, and I've been teaching the kid, and that's something, if you have children, you should teach them different ways they can make money. So I've been teaching them different ways they can make money. I want them to understand that it's not just about going to school, graduate, find a job. That will be depending on your employer to provide for your need. So I want them to learn different ways to make money, and I want them to, because they like to design, I'm teaching them different things they can do with their design, including POD. So I have kid session. I add kid brand, like kid products to our business, our POD, because of them. And I want them, my husband and I, we decided I want them to design for kids. What is the best way, you know, to create kid product than letting kids design for that, because they know what they like, right? So, and I've been teaching them, you know, different way they can make money. And she, you know, some of them are very good at drawing, so ask her to draw it, we can make sticker out of it. So the deal is, when their product sells, they get the profit. So in 2020, she made a design that I put on NetGator, and it sold on eBay. So I gave her $5 for it. The NetGator, we use a POD to fulfill, you know, to produce it and to fulfill it. So on those POD products that you use a company to fulfill, you don't make a lot of profit on those. So I like to keep the stationery at home. And pretty much she draw, and I taught her how to, you know, to use Inkscape to make the contour, the outline. And we use our sticker paper, our sticker machine. We have the brother. We have the brother cutter that we use to cut it, and we just print the sticker from here. We use a matte paper. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we have papers on top on the shelf, and we use matte removable matte paper for it. And yeah, so she's, and not only she did that, she searched the keyword, the different keyword that she will use, and I taught her how to use those keywords to answer a few questions. Who is going to buy it, what it is, who is going to use it, and what they can use it for, to make one sentence to answer each one of those questions. And we use that to create a description. And we took pictures, and I show her to use the keyword to name the pictures, and we list the product on Etsy, eBay, and Liberman.com. So we made different outline colors for them so that one design can make multiple listings. So we have probably each one of the car one should be different colors, I think. So we made about at least four designs out of 4 products out of 1 designs of hers. So yeah, that's things I've been learning and I've been teaching them at the same time. And one them, and the idea came to me to include them into the POD. I have multiple type of businesses, and one reason was that some of them might be interested in something, there'll be something they'll be interested in, because one of them told me maybe 2 years ago that her classmates, some of her classmates don't like to play with her, and I asked her why, and I said because she does not wear fancy clothes. And I said, what does that mean, not wearing fancy clothes? So pretty much it turned out that the girls wear brand name type of clothes, and they judge her by that. And I explained it to her that, well, she has more money than they do, and it's not those clothing that will define her. So, and I thought, well, they want to wear brand, I want them to feel good about themselves. So I'm teaching them that, well, they make their own design, I'll put it on their own shirt for them, and they will wear it. So we can buy the pants, the skirts, but the top we can make those ourselves. So we have t-shirts that we purchased from China, and quality t-shirts. So, and we have, you won't be able to see it, but it's on the floor. We have hip press as well, so we will be able to we'll be able to press clothes. We have hip press here that will be able to press design on clothes if we chose to, but so far we have ordered their clothing from our own store using a POD to fulfill it. So because those POD, they do direct garment printing, so they'll print the design directly into the shirts, not hip press it. So yeah, and my husband and I, we decided that they will, we can put their design on their shirts for them. But for the past 2 years, they have been studying at home. So when school starts, their school clothes are just going to be themselves wearing their own design. Pretty much, they are going to wear their own brand. So I told them, they like a design, they just need to draw it, and we will put it on shirts for them. And again, I like to keep their outfit to a bare minimum, 5 outfits a week, so that it's easier for them to find what they want to wear. And when I wash things, it's easy for them to put them away, because it's just 5. They are not going to think about what they are going to wear, what they are not going to wear. So it makes it easy for them to put their clothes away, and for them to dress in the morning, without going through a pile of clothes. And when things are old, I move school clothes to home outfit, and home outfit I'll take it to thrift store or cut in pieces to turn it into racks. So that's how I go through their clothes, because they grow so fast and they go through those clothing fast. So, but yeah, I want them to feel good about themselves, and I want them to to know that a lot of things they can make those themselves. So if they like something, they can make it. So they know how to sew by hand, and we made bows. They want bow in their hair, they just have to make it. It's not the fabrics that lasts in the house. And if they want to, we have scrunchies and hembands. So I have to say that having girls in some way, things that I know I have to create for my children, I create for sell as well. So that's one way I come up with products that I will sell, because originally, let's just say I'm the first market for my own product, because originally I started with cloth diaper because I wanted something natural and reusable and save money. And after purchase some cloth diaper, they came and I said to myself, well, I can sew those because I know how to sew. And that's how I started. Purchase the machine that I'm still using now and sew the cloth diapers. And when my husband started complaining about how we are using paper towels in the house, well, when you have kids around, babies, you have a lot of mess. So when he started complaining about those, I did some search and came up with napkins, hand towels that we will use, and that's how I came up with the hand cloth towels. And when I was expecting my second child, I was searching natural product, and beside the cloth diaper, I came up with handmade soap, and that's how I made the soap. So after using those things for a while for us, I decided to sell them. So because if I need those products and I'm making them, somebody might need the same product but may not have the time or may not know how to make them. So that's how I started making them for the market as well, like to list online. So I had to say that, if we had a need in the house and I had to make the product, then I would think about if that's a product I can sell as well. So it has, and pretty much over time our business, more product got added, and now we have our POD products that we POD line that we added since 2020, but I'm still learning, I'm still improving it. But yeah, so those are our greeting card, and we make the designs ourselves. So those are my designs. I like to sew. Designing is kind of new to me, so, and I don't like to use public domain. So I will start with a public domain. I will save it and I will trace it, and then I will adjust my design and make different designs, and then make different graphics, and then I will save my graphics, and then I will come up with the design. And the design is pretty much like putting the text and the graphics together to create a theme, if I will say that way. So it's just like, yeah, so that is the design, but it has multiple graphics in it. So yeah, and we create our own designs, our own graphics and our own designs to make our own designs, and it does take times, and I like to do that on Sundays, but probably not today. So, and I like to make the card at home, and you can, if you're interested in any of our card, you'll find it at liberman.com. So I have some that are not folded yet. and the address should be the website liberlabel.com. It's at the bottom of it. So yeah. So yeah, we have a bunch of, we have a lot of cars, but they are not, most of them are not listed. Because you have to make the, you have to draw the graphic, make the design, and print them out, take pictures, search the keyword, write a description, multiple phases before the product will be ready on the website. But again, that's multiple ways to make money. And on our YouTube channel, we share different ways you can make money and different way you can save money to reach your financial independence without sacrifice, without, you know, while, you know, without sacrificing the quality of your life, pretty much. So we talk about gardening, not just because of gardening for fun, but to grow healthy food without spending a lot of money on it. And we talk about budgeting so that you can save money and put that money to work. You just don't save money and keep it at the bank. You are going to lose your purchasing power, because what you can purchase with $1 last year, you may not be able to purchase that same thing with $1 this year. So because of inflation, your money will lose value. For that reason, you wanted to invest in the stock market and you want to invest in your business. So by investing in the stock market, you are pretty much investing in other people's business, and you invest in your own business as well. So we talk a little bit about those things, and we talk about the business side of the things as well. So yeah, you want to, if you have a job and that's the only way you make money, you are dependent on your employer to provide for your need. You want to be able to, you want to have different ways to provide for your need, to generate revenue, to generate income without solely depending on your employer. So we share a little bit of that on our website. But then, you know, if you have a handmade product, you might want to ask yourself how many you need to create, if that's to cover your need, how much you need to create to sell a month to generate that revenue you need. And you ask yourself if you'll be able to create that many. If not, then you might want to diversify. For example, I sew towels, and my towels, they are not big dollar amount type of things. So I have to sew a lot to, you know, let's say that our expenses are $1,600 a month. So to have a profit from the handmade product, $1,600 a month, I had to sew a lot of it. So if I'm not able to sew that many, therefore I had to have different ways to generate revenue beside, not necessarily that I'm going to give up my handmade towels, my handmade products, but do other things. And you'll notice that with the print on demand, well, I might take a long time to design the products, but when it's designed and I file my design properly, when an order is placed, I can just print and cut. So I can make more of these products compared to sewing towels in the same amount of time. So that's one way to see the different handmade products you can make, how much time it takes you to make. It's not about hiring employees, because that's becoming responsible for somebody's food, and it's not the first solution. But you want how much you need a month. You want it to be able to uh, to uh, to get that income all by yourself. Should be your first goal. So, and you have to see the different things you can make, and how much you need, to see if that's a realistic goal, to see how you need to diversify. If I'm sewing things, I'm sewing them one by one. If it takes me 5 minutes to sew one, and I'm not even talking about cutting the fabrics yet, how many am I going to sew in a day? And to sell, if I sell them for $3.99 for instance each, and beside the cost to get $1,600 profit a month, how many am I going to sew and sell? So, but then this one, if they sell about the same price, I think those are $4.99, but if they sell about the same price and it's faster for me to make the card, then I might make more of these faster than sewing. So having different type of products that that you sell in your business might be something to think about, when you are the one that should be able to make that revenue, not hiring other people to help you to get there. Should be the first goal. But yeah, you can see how, if just come up with different type of products, but if you use yourself as the first buyer to come up with products, at some point when you sit down to see what product to eliminate, what product to keep, based on what is easier for you to make, what you can make fast, what you like to make, and what people like to buy, you'll notice that those products will have something in common. So that's how you can relate them. But if you are making product just based on what people are selling and what people are buying, and you come with different products, maybe they may not be so much related. In our instance, we are selling towels because I was looking for natural products to make, to save money, and that is natural. We have the soap, we have the towels, they are natural products. And I'm making the card, I'm making some POD, but our POD, I'm trying not to put them on polyester products. So when I'm putting product on t-shirts and mug, I'm trying to use 100% t-shirts from the company that's that is the POD company that we use. So you can see that in my choice of products, I'm still sticking with natural product as much as possible. Yes, I'm making zipper pouch with that plastic zipper, and I'm using I'm making scrunchie with elastic in it. Yes, but we use those things for our hair and to stock, and the pouch to stop using too much plastic. But you can see that there is some relation in those products. And making the card, you notice that it's paper. So yeah, when you start with things you use, or when the thing is, when you are looking for a niche to create for, usually it is easier to start with some social like some to target people that you can associate yourself with, whether you all have like same work experience, or you all have same hobby, or it could be from prior present, people that you can associate yourself with, or you have associated yourself with in the past, you will understand them better than creating a product for a market that needs something that you are not a part of. Yes, you can do it if you do a search, but you have to do a search for that market. But when you start with a social group that you can associate yourself with, or you associate yourself with in the past, it's easier to understand them and come up with a theme or product that they might need. And when you start creating things, you will see the review people are leaving on your product, what they are asking for, and it will guide you. If people say that, oh, I use this towel to strain homemade cheese, then you know that, oh, that product can be used to strain cheese, even though I just made it to wipe a hand. So in the listing, you can add different things that can be used for based on what people are leaving as a review. Or if you think that, well, if they want something for pressing cheese, maybe cheesecloth to make that type of towel for them might be another product to use or to add to your to your product, because you start with what you know, but other people buying are pretty much giving you clue to things that they need. You may not need those things, but they need those things, so it can give you clues for other products you can add to your business if that is aligned with your value. So yeah, and yeah, those are just food for thought. You cannot rely on one source of income. It's good to invest in the stock market, and it is good to have your own side business if you can. If you are an employee, it is a lot easier to invest in the stock market than to start your own business. But if you can start your own business, it might be a good idea to do that as well. So yeah, I will sew, and then I don't know what I'll do in the afternoon, but I still have not filed our 1040 yet. I think it's time for me to start tracking how much of earned income our children are making, because they have their own brokerage accounts, and one of them has invested in some stock probably in 2019, and when I check it this year, it increased in value, and I sold a bunch of that stock, a bunch of share of that stock, to invest in a dividend stock for the child. So I need to check it to make sure I don't need to file a tax return for that child. So yeah, if you have a brokerage account for your children, I'm not talking about 529, but a brokerage account for your children, when they earn income, when a minor has earned income, like income from investments, that is more than 1,100, that's the limit this year, you have to file a tax return for that child, or claim to add that return to your tax return to pay tax on it if you have to. So yeah, I need to start tracking the return. I don't care much for 529, but if you have 529 for your children, it's education type of investment account is fine as long as you use it for education. But I want them to have their own brokerage account, so that that money can be used for education, and it can be used for them to start their own business. But at the same time, it's taxable, so that's something to weigh. You have to weigh. But I want them to invest more in dividend income. So that's another way to generate revenue. For instance, if you need 1,600, if you pay off all your debt, which you should have as a goal, to pay all your credit card debts, your tuition loan, and your house. If you didn't buy an expensive house, try to pay off, and then budget. You'll see how much you need a month as a budget for your expenses. It's not the actual cost, it's the budget. So your expenses should be lower than your actual cost, and you'll notice that you don't need much. Without a daycare, you don't need much for your for your expenses. So if we assume you need, $1,600, maybe $1,000 for your expenses, and 600 will be irregular expenses you put in the saving so that you can fix things around the house. Plumber issue, you can get it fixed. Things break down, you need to buy piece a part to fix things. You have a gift, birthday, holiday gift, 600 a month will go in the saving for those expenses and property tax and all that. So that'll be about 7,000 a year. When you're putting 600 in the saving a month for that. I like to call it irregular expenses, not emergency expenses, but irregular expenses. So $1,000 for the month, 1,600. Then you will find it doable. When you need 1,600 a month, and technically your actual expenses will be less than that, but that if something broke down, you have money saved to fix it. Or if a tax is due, you have money saved to fix it. You will notice that you don't need much. So if you need 1,600 a month, for instance, as expenses, then you want to have your own business, you want to invest in the stock market, you ask yourself how much you need to bring in from your business, how much you need to bring in from the stock. So those are different ways to think about your finances. And if you even target that every single one of those avenue should bring in how much you need, if that's 1,600 a month, for instance, then you ask yourself, how do you want to invest in the stock market? In the past, I have traded, like buy stocks that I know are on their low side, and when they goes up, I will sell it to make profit and then lock in that profit and then invest it again. Yes, it's great, but when the stock goes down again, you might lose money. So you can make money, you can lose money, but I think you can make more than you lose if you know what you are doing. But this time I'm more thinking about streams of income. So I'm not thinking about sell the stock to make money. I'm thinking about investing in stock that I will be able to generate revenue. So I'm targeting more dividend income now this year more than the past. But it has always been something I like to see when I'm investing in a stock, that stock generates dividends. So if it does now, the only way I will invest in it is I know that it will increase in value and I will sell it. And if you want to trade, it has to be within 6 months. But I tend to be more of an investor than a trader. So I tend to hold my stock longer than 6 months. So, but and you wanted to see, well, if average you are targeting dividend stocks that will pay at least 5% a year on as dividend, at 5% a year, how much you need to invest for you to generate 1,600 times 12 of income a year, for instance, and then you know how much it's going to be. If we take so that's how you do the calculation to see how much you need to invest. So, and then you'll see by doing budget, you know how much you need a month for your expenses, and if they are well high, then you will see what you need to cut. If that's cable that is costing you money but you're not watching TV much, then you can see alternative like free YouTube of $7 or $10 Hulu to replace that, or things like that. And how much, how will you save money? For us, by cutting cable, it's like our cable is more than $100 a month in the past. And say you are paying $100 a month for 5 years. $100 a month a year is $1,200, right? For 5 years, it's more than a down payment on a rental property or on a house that you live in. If that's $100,000 a house, you need 5%. You live in for few years, you can move out and rent it out and buy another one. So you'll be able to do that if you cut cable for 5 years, So those are things to think about. And phone used to cost us over $100 as well. And we trim it. We used to be with Verizon, and we cut it off and went with Telo. I mean, it's not the best there, but like it costs me $8 a month for phone now, and my husband about the same amount. So $16 versus over $100 just to talk over the phone. You see the difference. So those are things that, well, to reach your financial goal, you have to give up some convenience things so that you can save your hard-earned money and put that money to work by starting your own business and by investing in the stock market. And see how you can, what the stocks you want to invest in that will pay you dividend from day one, so that while your money is with them, is generating some income. Whether you sell that stock or not, you have something in return. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi-Odjounin, Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and NinaSoap.com, our blog, and our channel is all about different ways to make money, different ways to save money, to reach your financial independence, where you don't worry about money and you don't need to sacrifice this quality of your life to reach that goal. You are working hard for your money. You want to put your money to work. So I will see how much of those towels I'm going to sew before I go up and start taking care of the children. Thank you so much for your time. And if you are looking for our products, we have NinaSoap.com for our natural products, Label.com for our custom apparels and stationery. We have Download.com for digital download, budget templates, and templates to manage your finances and templates to manage your business. And we have LibreOutlets.com for resale products. And that site over time will have our wholesale products, but I think probably fabric, but we'll see. But yeah, so when you have business, it keeps changing. You have to keep changing things until you get it to the level that you want. So the business grow with you. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.